Saudi Arabia has more money than most countries will ever see in 1,000 years. And yet, there is something in the soil of Georgia that no amount of wealth can purchase. Something that took not billions of dollars to build, but 2,000 years. Tbilisi doesn't announce itself. It doesn't have a skyline designed to impress you. It has something older than that. The city is built on contradiction. Persian ruins next to Soviet apartment blocks. A 6th century church casting a shadow over a wine bar that stays open until 4 in the morning. Steam rises from ancient sulfur bath domes in the old district. Buildings crumble beautifully. No one is in a hurry to fix them. A woman waters flowers from a carved wooden balcony 3 floors up. The building beneath her is falling apart. She doesn't notice. Or she doesn't care. The wine here is not a product. It is an argument. An 8,000-year-old argument that this land understood pleasure long before the modern world arrived to explain it. Rain begins to fall on the cobblestones of Solalaki. Pigeons scatter. The streets go dark and silver. And then there's the food. Not the kind that arrives with garnish and a price tag. The kind made by someone's grandmother. Who would be offended if you tried to pay her? Inside a small bakery, a woman pulls khachapuri from a clay oven. The cheese bubbles. She doesn't look up. This is Tbilisi, a city that has survived everything and learned to make it beautiful. Saudi Arabia spent the last 2 decades trying to build culture. And to be fair, they build extraordinary things. Neom, the line, museums that float above the desert, Formula One circuits that glow at night. But here's the thing no architect can design. No consultant can commission. No government decree can manufacture overnight. Authenticity. In Georgia, hospitality isn't a hotel industry training module. It's a theology. The Georgian word for guest, stumari, carries within the same weight as the words gift from God. You don't host a guest here. You receive them. A Georgian man with calloused hands pours cha-cha, the local grape spirit, into 2 glasses. He slides one to a stranger at the bar. No words, just a gesture. The supra is not a dinner. It is a ritual that has survived invasions, empires, and Soviet collectivization. Persians tried to erase it. Mongols tried to erase it. Moscow tried to erase it. It is still here. Saudi tourists come to Tbilisi, and they do come. They notice that the beauty here was never planned. It accumulated, the way sediment builds a canyon over centuries. Slow, unintentional, irreplaceable. You can build a bathhouse. You can make it marble. You can fill it with rose petals. But you cannot build the feeling of knowing that Alexander Pushkin once sat in the same water. You cannot construct that. Wealth can create spectacle, but it cannot create memory. And Georgia, small, broke, perpetually caught between empires, is made almost entirely of memory. Tbilisi has become something unexpected in the last decade. A refuge for digital nomads, for remote workers, for people looking for something they cannot name yet, but not the kind of refuge that looks like escape, the kind that looks like arrival, like somewhere your nervous system finally exhales. Since 2022, Georgia became home to an extraordinary wave of Russians, Ukrainians, and Belarusians, people who needed to leave. They came to a country that had also lost land, that had also been invaded, that understood something about holding your identity when the ground beneath you shifts. Georgia lost 20% of its territory in 2008, 2 regions, gone overnight, and the world mostly moved on. But Georgia didn't collapse inward. It didn't become bitter in the way you might expect. It opened. Walk these streets, and you won't find a city drowning in its grief. You'll find a city that chose to keep dancing. When police raided Tbilisi's famous nightclub in 2018, thousands of Georgians gathered outside Parliament. They didn't riot. They didn't burn anything. They danced in the street at midnight in front of the cameras. That is Georgia's answer to power, and it tells you everything. Most travelers arrive in Tbilisi with a checklist, a cheap Europeanish city, good food, affordable wine, Instagram content, and they get all of that. But somewhere around day 3, something shifts. It's hard to explain to someone who hasn't felt it. The city doesn't perform for you. It doesn't try to seduce you with neon or spectacle. It just exists, loudly, quietly, contradictorily, and slowly, without asking your permission. It gets under your skin. The pace gets to you first. Not slow in the way that feels lazy or forgotten. Slow in the way that feels intentional. Like the city made a decision centuries ago about what actually matters, and has been quietly right ever since. There is no rush here. This has all been here for centuries. It will be here when you leave. And somehow, that is the most radical thing a place can say to you in 2025. In a world obsessed with optimization, with every hour accounted for, every moment monetized, every experience filtered and captioned before it's even finished, Georgia offers a proposition that some things simply exist, not to be photographed, not to be disrupted, not be improved, just to be. An old man sits outside his front door on a plastic chair. He is doing nothing. He looks completely at peace. No phone, no podcast, no purpose beyond sitting in the afternoon light. And you walk past him and feel, just for a second, like the one who has it wrong. Wealth can build a cathedral. It cannot fill it with 500 years of whispered prayer. Money can import chefs, curate menus, design atmospheres. It cannot manufacture the feeling of a meal that was made for you before you arrived, because someone assumed you would come. Because in Georgia, a guest is always expected. Saudi Arabia will build something remarkable. History should not be misread. Ambition of that scale is its own kind of poetry. And there is genuine beauty in a country deciding, loudly, expensively, defiantly, that it will have a culture. But there is a difference between a country building its culture and a culture that survived everything that tried to stop it. Georgia was never the richest, never the most powerful. It sat at the crossroads of every empire that ever mattered, and was swallowed by most of them. Persia, Rome, the Mongols, the Ottomans, the Russians. Each one arrived certain they would reshape this land. Each one left something behind in the stone. And yet here it is, pouring wine the same way it did 8,000 years ago, making bread in the same clay ovens, singing in three-part harmony, polyphonic, ancient, unrepeatable, about a God it never stopped believing in, even when belief was illegal. Even then, some things can't be bought. They can only be lived, for long enough that the living becomes a place itself. Georgia is not a destination you visit. It is a place that happens to you. And if you let it, it will quietly rearrange something inside you that you didn't know needed moving. If this video moves something in you, share it with one person who needs to see a place like this. And if you want to go deeper, the full documentary script, location guide, and travel breakdown are linked below. Subscribe if you want more films like this. No lists, no rankings, just places told honestly. We'll see you in the next one.